The wear ring was $35. I bought a kit. It's called a rebuilding kit for the pump. It's got my bearings, my seal, my washers, and that part right there with the bearings on it is the part that I could not find when I took my pump apart. So it was apparently it had been destroyed. This is all that came out of the pump when I took it apart. Now I'm going to take the bearings and press them into here. Okay, we got one of the bearings in. We got to push it on in. It seemed like it wants to go on in pretty evenly. I might not have to press it in, but if I have to, I will. Now we'll put the seal in. This is for bearings and bushings. I turn it over for the bushings or for the seals. Okay, just get it started and make sure that your little lip, let me show you. This part here goes on the inside. This needs to be facing you. So you want this to be facing you when you put it in here. Get it in there real good. Get it started even. Then I'll tap it on in with the hammer and the tool that I have right here. If you don't have a tool like this or can't get one, you can use a piece of wood. Just make sure you drive it in there evenly. Alright, I got the seal in. Yeah, make sure you get it flush down in here. And the bearing and the seal, there should be no more than 1.5 to 2.5 millimeter between the seal and the bearing. Okay, just look down in there, you can see the other bearing. We're going to put this bearing in. Make sure you get everything nice and clean. And then we'll push this one down in there with the press. Seems like it'll be simpler and a whole lot quicker. Okay, we got the other bearing in. It says that the space between the bearing and the thrust washer should be 2 to 3 millimeters. So what I'm guessing is that these oil holes, there have to be enough space between the bearing and the thrust washer for oil to pour through these holes to get into the bearing, into the shaft. So I just took mine pretty much flush with the bottom of this oil spout here. So that should be, I'm thinking that would be good, but that's my best guess. Okay, as you can see, I packed my bearings with lithium grease. Okay, I had to buy a new impeller shaft. And right here's the difference. This is the old one that came out, the neglected one. And this is the new one. You can see the difference. Okay, we have the thrust bearing on. Now this is going to be tight. It takes a little bit of work to get this on here. You got to get it down on there just right because it's so tight. It will go. There it goes. I mean, it's just such a tight fit. Once you get it down on there, there you go. Okay, this thing should go right down in there like so. I'm going to turn it upside down. Right out the back. Well, as you can see, it's been pretty good. I gotta put some oil in it still. It's really close, but it's not hitting. Well, it's not supposed to, but it's supposed to be really close. And that looks good. That's what it should look like on this side when it's in there. Okay, let's put the cap on and we'll put some oil in it. Okay, this is the new cap. As you can see, it looks pretty good. Just an example. See the flange on it? Okay, this cap here is the one that was neglected. As you can see, it has no lip on it for a washer. It looks like it was melted on the inside because it was neglected so badly. Okay, this is how the impeller will sit on the SeaDoo. We're going to go ahead and put a rubber O-ring in the cone, and we're going to mount it onto the back of here. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll take this and we will put the plunger on it, and we will put the spring in it before we put it on here. The spring should snap down inside there, like so. And the plunger should fit right down inside the spring, down inside the little square indent down in there. Now we will put a O-ring on this and put it on the pump. As you can see, that spring is tight. Don't forget to take your plug out of your old cone. I used a 3/16 Allen wrench to get mine out. I'm going to take my bolts, pull them out one at a time. Since I've already got the cone on, because the spring's tight, you got to put the cone on, tighten them up a little bit at a time to get it on there evenly, and then pull them back out one at a time, put some Loctite on your bolts, and then put them back in. Okay, we pulled the plug out. We're going to add 75W 140. It's fully synthetic. We're going to fill it up. It's supposed to hold 2.2 ounces. We're going to fill it to the top. You really have to take your time filling this thing up because it's slow. It gets real slow. Okay, now that it looks to be full, we have to take this gauge. We have to insert this into the hole where the plug came out, and we're going to have to put 10 pounds of pressure on this for 15 minutes, for 10 or 15 minutes. I'll have to check and see what it is, but it's supposed to seat all the seals and everything, but you do this after the oil is added. Okay, we got it on 10 pounds. We're going to leave it on there for about 10 minutes, come back and see if it's holding pressure. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. I lost a very small amount of pressure, but that could be because of my hose. I could have lost it out of my hose because of a bad connection. I don't see any oil leaking anywhere, so at this point I'm not going to worry about it, but I'll check it to make sure there is no leaks. I haven't found any yet.